right. Well, it's been a year.
Oh, wow.
It's what? It's December now?
Yes.
So we should do a year in review.
Yes.
And thank yous.
Yes.
And happy holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, thank you to the KOAM team for having us.
Mm-hmm.
And, who started it all was Nick Delgado, Peter Anderson,
Yes. Both
Jonathan
veterans.
Charvers. Yes.
And then
They were the first podcast that we had, right?
yes, and Joan
All
also
veterans.
is married to a
veteran?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a lot of veteran connection.
And then our producer, Jake Sablon.
Yes.
And then our former producer, Jen Chargala, right? She
Yes,
started with
very
us.
Nice. Uh-huh.
So, thank you to the whole KOAM team and for everyone watching Veterans with Benefits podcast. And, we never have enough time to talk about everything, but we do want to talk about, the whole year and 2026.
Oh, and if it weren't for Joe letting us in the front door.
Oh, yes.
well,
Joe, always opening the door.
Yeah, so thank you, Joe.
Joe here at KOAM.
Yes.
And then also happy holidays.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving with family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then also Christmas coming up.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year
Mm-hmm.
to everyone.
Yes. So 2025 for veterans here in Guam. Locally, it was proclaimed Year of the Veteran Count and Registry.
Uh-huh.
Because, we have different numbers, right? We have the local number, which has always been somewhere around 20,000, 24,000, 25,000. The CBOC number, which is hovering around 6,000. And then the Veterans Benefits number is around, what was that, 11 or 10?
Gosh,
1,000 here on Guam.
one was 9, one was 11. Mm-hmm. Very, very different. Mm-hmm. And then I think they also use some of the census. The census.
Okay.
Yeah, so the DHA is the most relevant that we've got, and that came from the Congressman's office and their staff. Of course, that was also, put together by a lot of great folks in different entities, like the Joint Micronesian Task Force, right? We had some good folks there. I think that's Admiral Lasky, right, and their group. Really good, effective folks down on the ground, So a lot of his good team effort there, trying to take care of all the people here on the island and in the region. So in Micronesia, right? So good folks there, listening and getting out there, trying to take care of all the things that we need for our veterans.
And then we also there was a lot of outreach events.
Oh, but what was the number, by the way?
What number?
Because weren't we talking about the number from, you mentioned DHA, Year of the Veteran Count and Registry?
What do you mean, what number?
Did they ever give us a good number?
Oh, I think it was 20,000.
Yeah, 20,000 plus was the number. And that number came out during our symposium that we had up at UOG in collaboration with
the
UOG
congressman
and all our folks.
gave us that number.
Yep, that came from his staff. But we do know that a lot of folks are working on that, reaching out to all our different sources, trying to come up with that number. And the number came from DHA, right?
Right.
Department of
Health Administration.
Okay, very good. And that's good. So that's one of the things that we accomplished, right? Of course, that came out of the task force. It was a request from General Benny Polino to pay attention and get those things going. So thank you to the General and to Tom Atta, who was actually kind of the lead on taking the task of, doing a lot of these different projects. So good job on both of them.
So moving on, we did a lot of outreach events, which is needed for veterans, right? Because a lot of veterans don't know what services or benefits are available to them.
Right.
So outreach is important. And I think that's one of the things that, was highlighted in, the different events that we'll talk about coming up. But a lot of outreaches.
Yeah, the OPA report, I think, mentioned that.
Right,
but
yes.
So what outreach did we do?
So
we had the monthly...
We had the Quality of Life Expo.
Okay.
And that's happening every year. And that's sponsored by, I think it was MWR.
Sounds about right.
J9? Oh my gosh, I'm going to get it wrong.
Yeah, I think it's J9.
So, because that was so long ago. Gosh, I think it was in February.
I think that would have been our second or third one.
Yes. AUOG.
Right. Yes.
So that Quality of Life Expo that brought local veterans and active duty. So it really is catered towards active duty. So when you talk to active duty and you say, "Are you a veteran?" A lot of them think, "Oh no, I'm not a veteran because I'm still in." You're a veteran as long as you raise your right hand and you are going to get a DD 214. You're a veteran. So there are things that we talk to the veterans about. The active duty about, once you're about to separate or retire, you should really come to one of the benefit boot camps, right? Because there are a lot of things you can be doing now to get ready to file your VA claim.
That's for listening out there, right? There's been things we used to do in the old days where, we suck it up. We don't go to sick call. If you go to sick call, you're weak, and there's, I think, a movement in the military to kind of get the service members to be a little bit more like the special ops groups, where they train really, really hard, and when they get injured, they get the best quality of care to patch them up and get them back into regular work again. So by doing that, I think it really does a benefit to all of our service members, because one, they don't have to hide that injury and it doesn't get worse over time. And now that it's recorded, now, they don't have to be afraid, because it's taking an injury and it makes them get the needed care so that they now can, operate and function at the highest level that they're expected to function at. And it doesn't put the burden of trying to treat and care for these veterans once they get out of service. And these are some of the things we do when we go to a lot of the active duty places. We talk to them about, hey, we understand that a lot of the youngsters, right, they're trying to get some time off. I mean, or get some slack, right, somewhere, anywhere they can. But one of the things we have to do is be sure to also, make sure that they're getting cared for, treated, and operating at 100%, because you want that when they're being deployed to combat or any of their missions. What we don't want is for them to be holding it, hiding it, trying to get through, and after they get out of service, their service is not going so well because they have these injuries that in years past, if you told somebody you had an injury, they immediately start paperwork to get you out of the service. And for many of the folks, especially here on this island, right, it's a job that they want and they need to care for their family. And what we don't want is we push them out of the Guard and Reserve or even the active duty, and we in the federal government damage them. More importantly, we send them off to combat and they come back and we do our best, but they still fall through the cracks. The problem with that is you got to do a little bit more than just try. You really got to pay attention to them because they're under your care. You don't just get these men and women and you use them and then you spit them out at the end of their enlistment and expect that the government of Guam's GMH is going to take care of them and they're going to fall into the system. So we don't want that. If you are in the service, your Department of Defense or Department of War today, it is your duty to take care of these people, care for them, and do everything in your power to take care of them. You have more money than the government of Guam, and we should be embarrassed if we're pushing these people out of the Guard and Reserve without running them through a system that will tell us that we've done everything that we could. No, you don't get to just sign off and force them to, hey, you signed this, and no, we can't re-enlist you, and because you don't want to do paperwork. Come on, guys, do your job. If you pick these guys up and they're in the service, take care of them and do everything you can. The same way you brought them on should be the same way you send them back out to us. If they're damaged, you fix them or you do the best you can. Medical, retirement, whatever it might be. So you folks got to take care of that.
I think the problem with that is a lot of our local military leaders don't know what the process is. And that's not an excuse, especially for the Guard and Reserve.
And they get paid to run that. If you're at AGR and you're supposed to be taking care of these service members, I'm sorry, You know, trying to get to lunch is a whole different thing because Mully and Pari are calling you to go eat, right? No, 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 no. Take care of your job first. Fix those people. It is your responsibility. NCOs, non-commissioned officers, that is your job. In the old days, I used to go to people's homes and check what their living was like with their family members. You know, are they living okay? Do you know, is the house clean? Are the kids okay? How's the spouse doing? Those were jobs that I did as a E4 in the Army. And I'm like, if I had to do that and you're not doing that today, maybe you need to start checking whether or not you know who your soldiers are or who your service members are. Because if you can't take care of the home front, what makes you think he's going to be doing well out in the battlefield? So
Right.
those are just some things we really got to take care of. So we got to get back to those things. And I know a lot of our older folks, they know these things. Now, if the ones that are subordinate to you aren't doing their job or if they're taking advantage, you got the power to do something to them. Get them in there, run them through the test. If they say no, say, well, if you say no, you got to make sure, because we don't want to hear that guy from, you know, Veterans with Benefits on the podcast calling out the leadership, right?
But sometimes we have to,
Right.
because that's where things will change.
And they need to tell us, hey,
Yep.
no, we ran these guys through. Here's the letter. Because we've seen letters from the past where they were trying to force them out. They made it a point to
Yep.
get them out of the service. Why? Because they get them out of their hair. I'm sorry. The last time I checked, the federal government has more money than the government of Guam.
And it was easier to get them out because guess what that does? It frees up a slot.
Exactly.
But they forget about that member's 12 years that they did, the 2 years that they deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan.
And-
they came back and they're broken. Take care of them.
And it's not like it's just an easy downhill, oh, I'll turn in my VA claims because of this, and they'll just hand me all these benefits, and life is just going to be wonderful. It doesn't work that way. So if you're active duty or AGR or in any of the services, if you get hurt, you got to go report it. I'm sorry. And from now on, you know, that's the thing we should be doing. You hurt them and they're in the service, you fix them and return them. Don't return them back to the community and expect the community to take care of a problem that you created and not addressed on the way out. That is your responsibility. You have more money. And you as service members, you got to do your part as well.
The next thing that happened was the summit up at Anderson. So that was geared towards active duty. So active duty,
Well, and veterans too, right?
yes, well, yes, veterans, but mostly those up at Anderson because, or Navy, or if you have access to the base.
Yes.
Because a lot of veterans who only served 4 years and they, separated, they don't have any way to get on the base. So we had it on Anderson, and then we did that in partnership with West Care, Wounded Warrior, and also with MWR.
That's correct. That's Ed Biakin over there.
Right.
They kind of put that together, and they have a lot of services up there. So, Ed, if you're listening, thank you for all you do, and you and your team up there. And you still got to see me. You can't avoid my phone calls all the time. I know you're a busy man.
And that was the Veteran Summit. Oh,
Yeah.
but before that, didn't the convention happen around that time?
Oh yeah, that's right.
What
we
month
did.
was the convention?
I want to say it
forgot.
was it February?
I think around the same time, right?
It was January or February. It was early.
Yes,
Yeah.
Right. It was a good effort. Feedback on the event. It could have been more crowded. It could have been more veterans, especially since it was paid by the government.
Right.
The legislature allocated money to the GOVA office, so the Guam Office of Veteran Affairs, to hold this event. But there were many, many empty seats.
And what we got to do is we got to really work on that, right? And when we talk about that, right? So we've already reached out through HMI to really talk with the director and his folks over there. Maybe we can join these two events together, right? And hopefully do more of what we've been doing, where we worked with MWR, we worked with West Care on the summit, right? And we got to continue to do this because that's the only way that we can continue to bring our veteran organizations together, is by collaborating and working together. So.
Well, let's hope that becomes a good event for
Well, we'll see.
2026.
I mean, they've already been contacted, so we're going to keep pushing on our end for what we need to do for our summit. And by the way, the summit was given birth to because of the symposium. We had our 4th symposium this year,
Yes.
and at the 3rd symposium, the veterans were saying we need more, so that gave birth to the summit, and that's where we're at with that. So the summit will be taking place in the beginning of the year. A lot of good things going on there. Hopefully, before that, we've already pushed out the proclamation, right? And if that proclamation goes out, do you want to tell them what the proclamation is going to be for this year? I mean, next year?
Oh, no, we can wait towards the end.
Towards the end? All right.
Right.
So what's next?
So the next is a fundraiser event. So there was a veteran golf fundraiser,
Okay.
and that was headed by Norma
Castellan
and Bob Kelly.
yeah, she's over at Chugash, and she's a veteran, right? Bob Kelly, also a veteran. MSC, I think, is his company.
Yes.
So they're both veterans, and they took lead on that. So it's another way that HMI and our veterans organizations are trying to bring other organizations together to really promote that, and that's part of what the year was about, right? Was trying to get more veterans involved and coordinating these different events that we have so that we get more participation from not just veterans but other organizations to come on board.
And then the next event was the Women Veteran event. So that's the women, recognition of women in the military because they weren't allowed to join the military or have certain combat roles.
Yeah.
So that was changed, and that's something that is celebrated every year. So the Women Veteran event. So we had a guest speaker, we had a luncheon for women veterans, we did activities, we had raffle prizes.
So men aren't invited to that, are they?
They can come, but
They can come.
it's geared
Okay.
towar's women.
Oh my gosh, hence the name, right?
Yes.
Do we have a men's veteran event?
Male veterans always complain about that.
Okay.
But no,
All
women
right.
veteran event.
We got to look at that.
And then after that was a huge event, the Veteran Symposium, the 4th annual Veteran Symposium at UOG. Thank you to the staff at UOG. And then
President, right?
Yes.
The president early on, we met her at the same conference?
The
Is that
same
what it was?
conference.
Oh, by the way, we went to the same, was that this year, the same conference?
No, that was last year.
Was last year? Latter part?
Yeah, November.
Okay, so when we went to the same conference, we bumped into the president,
Yes.
President Anita Enriquez,
Yes.
and she said, "You guys come up and we'll do
Use
the
the
symposium."
lecture hall.
Yes,
Yes.
so we were forced to use that place. It was great, and then who got to speak?
One of the professors.
The deans, yeah.
Yes, one of the deans.
Oh man, you didn't have her name, huh?
I know.
You're gonna get in
There's
trouble.
so many.
Yes.
There's so many people to
Well,
thank.
Okay.
So thank you to UOG, staff at UOG, and then leading that from the HMI organization was Mary Uggan, Tom Atta,
Yes.
Edith Mesa, Frank and Chris Tadegui, Joe Ramos.
Yeah.
And then the food was provided by veteran-owned Dugout.
Yes, that's right.
The food was delicious.
Another collaboration where we try to get other. Yeah, I think they did the food also for the golf tournament.
Oh, they did. Yes, they did do.
That's
yes.
right. So it's a veteran that was doing that as well.
Right. And another big thing that came out was the OPA report about.
We don't have any more events to talk about?
Well, we're still.
Oh, okay,
We're
go ahead.
still
We'll do the
going,
okay, okay.
The next thing was the OPA report, and that was huge because it was 40-some pages of, findings
Yeah.
on the Guam Office of Veteran Affairs down in Assen. So even though, the nonprofit organization HMI started Year of the Veteran Count and Registry, the GOVA office has only registered 2,197 veterans from 2017 to today, to 2025.
And so, I guess this might be a good time to plug Eddie Regis, right? Eddie Regis and his nonprofit. By the way, Eddie Regis is a veteran. I'm getting tired of recognizing all these veterans on this island, but it looks like these guys continue to serve, even after they've gotten out of service. And I think it's just in our blood and in our, the way we've been trained. So the whole idea behind that was Eddie Regis many years ago had done some things with his nonprofit of disabled folks to try to help down at the cemetery, and I think he still continues to do that, and we really appreciate that kind of effort, and he continues to look at more ways to take care of doing the things that we do for our veterans. So I'm just saying that he's working, I think, with the director and some things. So again, right, just really good things happening around, all the efforts that, our veterans are looking at. We could call out all the problems all day long. Anybody can do that, right? This is bad, this is not working, this is not supposed to be this way, but to really sit down and really take action, to do something, right? If there's no outreach, have you gone to the villages and done outreach? Have you guys done that?
Yes.
Oh yeah? What do you guys do?
Go to the villages where the veterans are, and that's something that leaders need to know.
Right.
You have to go where the veterans are. You can't just come here once a quarter.
Yeah.
And set up in the mall and expect all the veterans to come to you.
Right, and they said it every 3 months they do that, right? And that's the Hawaii office doing that you're mentioning, right? And I think a lot of times they get together with the GOVA office, right? So that being said, right, there's also what we do as HMI, right? Every month we go out and we go to different villages, thanks to all our mayors out there that have provided us a space and, actually helped us with a lot of that. Most of the things that we're doing, for those of you that are leaders out there that are listening, okay, most of this work that's being done by HMI and the different efforts that we have are efforts that are being done through veterans, right? Veterans are donating to this effort, right? So they donate to the nonprofit. HMI is a 501c3. Yes, we can ask for donations. So if somebody out there is trying to twist your mind, telling you that we can't ask for donations, yes, we can, right? We can solicit for different things to help us with trying to take care of the different things that we're doing, like our outreaches. So that's where we get help. We also get help from our business supporters, folks like Ambrose usually provide us drinks, right? So that's also something that, we have to really be thankful for. So let's go back to the OPA report,
Yes.
right? So on the report also, right, so we look at it as an opportunity, right, to improve, right? We find ways to look at the things that are being said that, need improvement. And as we've been saying, if we're going to wait for somebody to come and help us, right, we're going to be waiting a long time. And what we need to be doing is to work together. No, that's just not a catchphrase. That's just not saying it. The actions have to be there. When we talk about coming together, we talk about the things that we've been doing this year by inviting other veterans and veterans organizations and working together to get them to do these things. So that's going to help us a long way to get past the deficiencies that we might be having and start improving on that by working together.
So let's move on to the next thing was the 5K, the Veteran 5K. That was headed up with United for Veterans. Thank you to Tammy Castro, Benny Barcinas, Tiana Guerrero, Terry Quabo at the Guam Cancer Care. That was a very, very successful 4th annual Veteran 5K. Thank you to Guam Running Club.
Yes, all veterans, all different entities that, again, HMI is bringing together and helping our veterans to see that if we work together, there isn't anything that we can't do. We can do just about anything. And this is going to continue to grow, and it's going to be something that we want to do. So thank you to those guys for helping us with that.
And the 75-inch TV
That's right.
was won. It was won by the
Christmas
nonprofit
Drop.
organization that organizes the outreach part for the Operation Christmas Drop. So they actually won the TV, and they're going to re-raffle it off at their 5K
That's right.
to raise more funds.
Okay.
Then was the 3rd annual Veterans Gala at Dusit. Thank you to Rob Jackson and Charlie Hermosa for heading that up. That was another great event. Thank you to our guest speaker, which was Tom Atta.
That's right.
We all didn't know he was a comedian. And then thank you to Frank Rios, our actual comedian. So that was a really good event. And we hope that 2026, which we hope will be proclaimed Year of the Veteran Services. What that means is that is all the services for the veterans available on the island, which would be the Congressman's office, the GOVA office, the vet center, medical services for veterans, whether that's at the CBOC or the Naval Hospital or care or in the community, and all the other services that come along with being a veteran. So hopefully that's what we plan to.
Yeah, so I guess we got to wrap up. So we want to say thank you to KUAM, all the staff here are good help here from my primo Jake, Jonah Goncharfris, Joe for opening the door. I think we need a longer segment just in case anybody's listening. If any of you out there have any comments or want to talk about this, reach out to Miss Karina and HMI and let us know the things you may want us to do on the future podcast. Before I go, I'd like to say congratulations to my granddaughter. She's getting her nursing degree through Maryland School of Nursing. So she'll be graduating in this month, later on this month. So congratulations to her. Also wanted to say thank you to everyone, and we're going to see you next year. Hopefully Jake will get us 30 more minutes, if not more. And again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to everyone. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you next year.
Okay, good night.